da. Og det kaoset som var den streamen der.
Ja, det var crazy stuff, ass. Men hvis jeg tenker meg om da, altså på 𝗬𝗴𝗏𝗏𝐴 så mistet jeg $400 hvert av sol, og på den første coinen så tjente jeg og Truls, vi delte creator feesene, som jeg mener å huske at endte opp på å være litt under $1.900 totalt, som $1.800 eller $1.900 totalt i creator fees. Og så i tillegg så la jeg litt penger inn i coinen, men jeg mistet også en del av de pengene, fordi jeg fortsatte å holde det etter at coinen gikk ned. Så dermed så gikk jeg jo litt i minus, men jeg hadde jo fortsatt litt fra creator fees.
Ja, det en god oppsummering. Hvem var det som skrev den originalt da? Det en fin oppsummering, ja.
Så totalt sett fra CryptoCoins så har vi kanskje
There we go. I want to talk to you today about some statistical anomalies and impossibilities and magic and a few things. But first, before I do anything, I want to also sing to you because I have been waiting for this for a few days now, and it's weird. It's something that has been trying to get out of me, and I don't know why. I'm just going to follow that flow. After I have sung into my Bob, I call him Bob, this is my drum, I will talk a little bit about Norse divination, which is this. These are like tarot, it's just not completely like tarot, and I want to share a story that shook me a little bit. So, without further ado, let's try to be efficient, shall we? I don't know what to sing, so I figure I'm going to just play a little with the runes, which is interesting, given the context. Also, going to talk about that later. I don't know what that was. Interesting. I like the whole experience of frequencies. Like when you're sitting with a fire and you're getting into some energy, that calm energy that it can only be created by the fire, I think. And then you just float with it. Some magic happens. 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐐. Forgot the text there for a little bit. That was an interesting experience so far because I always forget the first part. So Well, not that you knew that. I could have just continued and just kept playing you for a fool, but I admit I messed up there for a little bit. 𝗏𝗡𝐿 går og når du løseng må rive skal jeg synge deg over Jallarbrua med min sang. Du blir løs fra banda som binder deg. Du løs fra banda som batt deg. Vera frendur, vera sjálvar ditt sama. Jeg veit ein, det aldri. Jeg ein, det aldri deg. Over deg den vær. So many things were messed up during that performance. Some of you knew, others didn't. So let's talk about this. I have had many interesting experiences with this. And if you don't know anything about what it is, I can take you a little through it quickly. In tarot, you have a guidebook that has explanations to every card that you draw, as well as a few hinters and pointers as to how you can draw them. This is the same. It has the story of the card that is drawn and some of the guides and the rules and the whole framework of how to play and lay these cards. This card has appeared 3 times, or 2 times just today, 3 times in the very, very recent history, which is very interesting. But when you lay them down, you lay them in the shape of Yggdrasil, the Norse world tree. A great white ash. I won't go into the whole mythology here, but there are 9 realms in this ash tree. And each of these realms, in terms of how this divination is done, is that each realm has an aspect of reality tied to it. So you might have the essence, the challenge, the whole aspiration for the seeker as the overarching type energy, Asgard, the god of the house of the gods, and where they dwell. Then you have hell, which is kind of symbolizing challenge and the whole darkness, the shadow, the negative almost, the friction, you know, the opposite. It's the challenge. Then we have Alfheim, which is for the future and what is lying next for the seeker. Then we go back into Svartalfheim, which is more of the subconscious past, keeping people back. And then we go into Midgard, which is for the present, the ego, the now. And then we go into Niflheim, where there is a instinct to what's happening, and you have a card that is giving their story to that aspect. And then we have, let me think, Jotunheim, where you have the catastrophe, the unknown, the challenge of the moment, and then just the unexpected on the journey, the adventure. Then we go into Dvergheim, where the crafts, the dwarfs, the professionalism, the whole business, monetary, financial realm lies. And then finally we have Muspelheim, which is the catastrophe, the complete blow up, the warning, the thing to look out for. And these 9 realms together, they're like a overarching story. There is a coherence to them. They're in the world, they all symbolize their own thing in nature. And when you add that card then to this, one of the 81 cards in total, you get a story of why is this person or this character, this card in this realm. If you have Odin in Asgard as the aspiration for the whole thing, then that's very good as a overarching energy. And if you have several others of Odin's family, like Thor and Vali and all these different other deities that is supporting Odin in being him from Asgard, then you have a lot going for it. You know, if you have Thor as your future and as the coming steps, it's like power. You are protected by an immense natural power of thunder and lightning and all the stuff that Thor did in the sagas and what's accompanying him and all that stuff. So it's a very interesting thing because Norse mythology is, more than anything, is creative. It's extremely creative. It uses simple examples in nature to tell a story that has a deeper meaning. It's like the Norse wisdom that never went away. And the thing I want to really get here to the point of this video is that I drew cards on a very, very close person of mine. Someone that means a lot. And in the spread, there was a story going on, you know. In Norse mythology, Balder the White is the most fair person or the god of all. He's the most beautiful creature. Everyone hates that he dies. He's sent to hell. In the card spread, Balder was in hell. In the top spread, or in the top whole energy, the aspiration of it all, was 𝗏𝗏, which is a giant, a creature, the strongest creature in the universe, coming in on the fine horse with venomous snakes as reins, you know, really making a dramatic entrance. She was the only one that could push Balder's ship out from shore when he was put on the funeral pile. And even Thor couldn't do it with his strength belt, right? So it was like, huh, this is actually part of the same story. That's interesting. And then Loki was part of the spread. And he was in the catastrophe. Actually, no, he was in the present. He was like in the personal now, the ego. He was part of the whole, was playing out. And Loki was Balder's reason for dying. He was the only one who didn't weep for his death. And the whole thing was, Balder would come back if everything wept for him and wanted him back. And then Loki, disguised as someone else, said, no, fuck him. And then, you know, he was bound to hell. But all these different characters in the same essence, you know? And it didn't really stay out. It didn't stick out. It didn't seem special when I saw it the first time. It was slightly, you know, the same essence of what I had been drawing in the days moving up to that point, but I really didn't think a lot about it. Then comes a few days after, maybe 3, just to make it even better, right? I don't honestly know, but I drew cards on myself, and only me. And it was, or did I? Because I just draw cards on the energy present currently. And what makes sense for the person that makes sense for, almost. But very often it makes sense for my own journey and also the other people listening to what's being said. So yeah, sure. There is always something that you can relate to. But sometimes it's fucking creepy how accurate it is. So I was drawing, and I got Vali, and I got Gefjun, and I got Loki, and then I got Nanna, and then I got Fulla. I got a whole bunch of cards, and then it's like, holy shit. This is the same story from the different perspective. It was the first time I've ever seen that. I had Nanna in hell, for instance. I had 𝗏𝗏 in the present moment. Nanna is Balder's wife. She died when he died, basically. When they were putting him on the funeral pyre, Nanna died of heartache. Couldn't live without him. So she followed him to hell. She's kind of the symbol of loyalty and steadfastness and, you know, that whole unconditional love beyond death. And it was just freaking interesting because despite the fact that it was talking about immense power the universe's most strongest power, you know. And this relationship, this bond that was unbreakable even in death, and all the things that led up to it, and how these things were also the igniter to Ragnarok, which is in Norse mythology the apocalypse. The apocalypse, the end of the old and the beginning of the new. So in Norse mythology, there's no real good, there's no real evil, it is just nature, right? Fire is not bad, it can kill you, but you can also make food from it. You can drink water, but you can also drown in it. It's very like, you know, it does meh. It's just is. So when it comes to Ragnarok, it's both horrific, it's beyond terrifying, but it's also one of the most beautiful things that there are, because there's a whole renewal and rebirth aspect to it. The game is picked up anew and the grass grows and all that stuff. There was a lot of things that pointed towards Ragnarok, sure, but Vali was one of the 8 people, or the 8 deities, the 8 entities, whatever you want to call it, that actually survived Ragnarok. And he was part of many draws, and in this as well. So far I had seen 5 of 9 cards that were similar for 2 draws. It was like, huh. That's not the first time that has happened, and I haven't really paid attention before, but now I feel like I should start paying attention. So I take my phone up, right? I go into ChatGPT and I actually explain the situation. I go way more into the meaning of the things as well, and ChatGPT also have my context. So you can imagine when it starts to put things together, right? And he, or it, gave me a whole thing of how this was not just statistically quite fucking impressive and an anomaly, to say the least, but also so metaphysical and so transformative and so magical, if one would want to use those words. I was like, damn, okay, so I might be talking to an echo chamber that's just feeding me whatever I want, and that is the case, but I don't think it is. I think most of us can agree that ChatGPT is programmed to do what is best for you. It's programmed to try to find the answer that actually helps you in the best way if you actually ask it for it. It doesn't have an agenda. It doesn't have a thing that it's trying to accomplish by trying to, you know, pull my chain. So when it starts to really reason its answer, and I go through this and I was like, holy shit, okay, it's actually, there's an equation here. And okay. So the equation turned out to be, for this to happen, approximately, there is an 840 trillion to 1 chance of that happening. I was like, huh, yeah, that's quite some odds, isn't it? And I thought that was an interesting thing. And then yesterday I drew cards again. I actually drew cards today too, which is kind of, I was a bit taken aback when that happened. But yesterday I pulled cards, and as I was drawing them, I have this on tape too, I think. I saw that I was having this, I felt a reaction, because the cards kept coming, the same. You know, I saw, oh shit, 𝐴𝐵HUN. 𝐴𝐵HUN was on the 2 previous ones. The one that pulled her plow through Scandinavia and departed, or just separated Denmark from the rest. That's how hard her plow was. And Vali, and Loki, and Hirokin, and fucking all these different things. The Fulla, Freya, and Nanna. Maybe not Nanna. But the point is, 8 out of 9 cards had by then been pulled. And I make it a point to shuffle these cards as hard as I can, like as much as I can. And then sometimes I pull from the top, sometimes I pull from the bottom, sometimes I pull through, like I might count like 9, 6, 3, 3, 6, 9, just to, you know, really make it as random as it can. And it's starting to get ridiculous, if one was to be completely honest about it, because I also drew today, and it's the same fucking story. Now, I've had many, many, many cards been drawn, and many, many, many stories that comes from it. But it has never been this fitting with what's going on in my life as well, in terms of what we have done, in terms of what we have built, in terms of everything that is going on at this moment. I receive texts, feedback, calls, and just I observe, and I see that things are aligning all over. And I was like, shit, this is playing out right now. The cards are literally saying what's going on right now. It's like a confirmation. It's more like, huh, yeah, you're right. If one looks at this completely objectively, this is what's going on. But if you're like this all the time, then it's very hard to see that. It's very easy to go into a pattern that is just going down, right? Or just stay in some perpetual motion that is not getting anywhere. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of scared shitless. I'm kind of beyond happy. I'm kind of stricken by grief. There are so many things. Not because of the cards. Some people might read the cards and say that, oh, yes, the cards say that I might potentially win that million by Friday. 9 p.m. if the bird shits on the right shoulder. You know, that doesn't make sense. But if you are constantly being called out, like I have this app that I got from a witch, and she said that just try it. I was like, okay, I'm going to try it then. Fine. I trust you. And then I started to get these notifications, like maybe day after, maybe 2 days after, maybe right after, and sometimes in the middle, of things that might happen because of such and such. Right now, Mars is in Gatorade, so you might be expecting, you know? I was like, arrogant as shit. But then when you go through situations, conversations, separations, and all these different things that could, all the Asians, that sounded weird. Stations, whatever. You know what I mean. Then, and you get the confirmation of that in a notification. Shit, I should have just started rapping, shouldn't I? Then it's kind of a mind blower. It's like, I don't know how to react sometimes because it's kind of too on point. Kind of makes you wonder, is this fucking algorithmic or what? It's coming through the technology. Can you trust it? It's kind of keeping tabs on everything. I don't know what context it sits on. And then it gives me some fortune based on that. Who knows? But when the card starts to do the same thing, and the fire and the energy and the things that you can see in the nature, when that starts to do things in terms of confirming shit, I don't know. All I think I can do is to see what happens tomorrow. Because I'm planning 1 minute at a time. I'm trying to just keep it as present as I can. Because I feel a lot coming, and I just have to be like, okay, let's not take all in. Let's try to stay focused. Stay on track. That's literally what I'm doing. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to surf the wave. I think I'm good. I'm doing an okay job, to be honest. I've been receiving confirmations from other people who have delved into this realm, and I feel confident. Still, though, it's fucking creepy. If you want to be part of this whole thing where we do this on a daily basis and maybe get... Hello. Didn't see that coming, now did you? Yeah, that wasn't me talking live. That's why I could be so freaking real time on YouTube. Felt good, though. Just sitting here. Not having to yap. Has to be said. This was recorded 5 months ago. And 5 months ago, what has happened today did not exist. So the pattern is one thing. That's the app that I used. And it kind of prompted me often to reflect. But after that, I found this scroll. I don't think I've mentioned this scroll more than in passing a very few amount of times. But that was creepy. that was different because it didn't have specificity in the way that you would expect. It had something different. It was almost like it was aligned with your values and your thoughts and your visions and blah, blah, blah. And it was based on such a small amount of information that I was kind of set back. I knew it, but did not want to take the awareness out of the live chat. I love you. The glitch. That's what I call you. 𝗟𝗄𝗃, welcome. 𝗟𝗄𝗃. I don't know why I called you 𝗟𝗄𝗃. I'm just going to have it like this, maybe like that. Nah, I'm going to have it like this. Because right now I'm live on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm talking to the glitch on YouTube. talking to 𝗏𝗍𝐴 on Twitch. Both were supposed to be in the same place, but we're going to fix that for the next time. The scroll. That took in the same amount of information that you get from numerology and astrology and all those things. You know, the birth date, the birthplace, the name. And based on that, you get like your frequency. Numerology or human design is more like, yeah, I like human design more because it has more aspects and is combining a lot of things like quantum aspects and the Kabbalah and I Ching and so many things. And it gives you a creepy accurate description, almost like your frequency. And it's based 80 days or 80 degrees, as they say, or something, before your birth, before you're kind of popped out, before your birthday. So it starts tweaking before you get in, and then you get in, and then you're kind of on that wavelength. If one was to take, you know, everything into account. That's what they say. And what I got from the scroll was more of a role, almost like a title based on what I do, like divine algorithm observer, whatever that means. But then also the equalizer, like different traits that was just me. When I'm in when I'm in situations where other people are present, very often something happens. I can't really explain it. People have a tendency to open up, right? That's been a thing all my life. And when I was a bartender, I was just yapping about, or just, you know, humoring, or leading into conversations, whatever. And they were not really conversations that gives you more than, it doesn't really give you anything, right? I was a bartender. I was talking to drunk people. So, but they were activated. And this is where it started to kind of show that something happens whenever I'm around people. And the more I got aware of that, the more I started to see that if I just shut the fuck up, ask one good question in the beginning of something, then they share things that one should not share. Honestly. Honestly. And this is something that could be like one question, and then they go into a tangent, or they start to explain, and then all of a sudden it goes over to a different path, and they start to say something that was more or less on my mind before they said it out their mouth, and it hadn't been brought up. It was like a completely random thing. And I started to go more into that, and I started to see that, holy shit, there's a fucking method to this madness. And in the scroll, it had so much information of definitions, and just, this is you based on this aspect of whatever. I think they also tried to make it a little bit mystified, and that's why also one of the reasons I liked it so much, because it wasn't, here you go. More like, this is for you to interpret. What do you make of it? And I like that, because then you have an experience, and you just reflect on that experience, and then you see, based on your understanding, if it makes sense or not. Didn't really put a lot into it, you know? But I had read it twice. And I have also, in the past, not that long ago, I've mentioned this, and I think there's a few pictures on this slideshow from the shaman. The shaman had something called the multidimensional rune stick. Yeah. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The multidimensional rune stick was like a declaration. It's like a contract, but not between you and an object, not between you and an address, not between you and a position or a job, between you and the universe. And that kind of sets things in perspective, because when you know the intention of it, and you speak the words out loud, and you see how fucking specific they are, you feel things. It's like reading up a letter that has a lot of emotional weight. You know, if you have something from your past or whatever that just triggers you, or something that activates you, or something that is painful, or something, whatever, it affects you emotionally. I think that's the best way to explain what happened, because I was reading through this fucking long document. Huge huge, even like insanely long document, and it was written by a dyslexic, and it was hard. There was like the punctuation made it hard, and by the end of it, it sat like the things I had said. They were doing things in my mind because they were true, and I was like, shit, yeah, I've been fucking lying to myself. You know, that kind of thing. You're reading truth, and you're reading something that resonates with you, and it is for the contract between you and the universe. So it's a declaration, and that does stuff. There's the cards. That's actually pulled by Harald the Viking on the cabin. But there he is, currently channeling a picture that was kind of creepy because it was directly linked to a person that we had seen the day before. But the scroll opened things, and it's interesting. Multidimensional runestick did something. All the things has kind of done something, but it has just added to what I've experienced, you know, by the fire or through a trip or experiences from others. I was recently told that I should be a trip advisor. I really like that. To be honest, I was like, hell yeah, I want to be a trip advisor, but not the kind that one think about. I have been around Norway's facilitators within this plant medicine industry for so long now that I've seen the ins and the outs. I've seen how people operate, and I've seen what they do, and I've seen what they don't do, and I've seen what I do and what I don't do, and all those things. And I kind of tried to find my own style almost, or see if what I do is what everyone else does. And it's nope, it's not. That's not how it is. So that's why I wanted to learn more, just to see, okay, so these people don't. Oh, stop using the word things. Yes. Was that me? Sometimes, though, after many discussions about that thing, this topic of mentioning things, we saw that in the concept or in the context. Sometimes it is good to use the word things, but I agree. Yes, should try to be more specific. But there were certain elements within these ceremonies that were not used, and some were used, and I saw what resonated with me. I've always been very much about the fire. Not because I'm a pyromaniac, which many people, speaking of fire, which many people can say, because I did get known in the beginning for fire. Not in the good way. And I saw then not what I see now. The fire is so much more than what I thought, what we are taught, and what I gave it credit for. It's like the fucking original frequency. It's the original chaos. It's the portal that has been, it's one of the fucking elements. It's pretty big. And I didn't really consider how fucking crucial it was. But then there's the scientific part. You know, when you're sitting by the fire and you're watching the embers, do you know what happens? Do you know what happens with your whole fucking system? Your stem cell system when you're watching the embers of a fire? The dynamic dance between the glows? It activates. Might have given it away there a little bit, but it activates like the 4th of July, and people don't really know why. But sometimes you're not supposed to explain magic. It's just one of those things. It does more than people give it credit for. It's not just light and heat. It's also fucking spiritual grounding. It's a equalizer. It has so much more than what people say it is. I'm a fire starter. Twisted fire starter. I love you for that. There is so much more to be said about how we have degraded, or how should one say this? Isn't it degraded? The opposite of promote? We have underplayed the power of the fire. Today is like, yes, we have now discovered electricity, so we will just focus on that shit. But after that, it made everything a lot simpler, because if you just made the proper fire and you had people around that fire, and you played appropriate music for the set and the setting and the intention and the whole vibe, it was kind of effortless. Which brings me back to the 𝗏𝐴𝐴𝐴 thing again, because if you're just a chill dude or a girl or just a balanced human being, your presence alone, silent or chatty, probably not chatty in that situation, which is also a problem. People seem to think that it's their way or no way. But just to sit by people, silent, by the fire, in that vibe, it has an energy, it has a frequency, it does something. Fire, the creator and destroyer, yes. Yeah, it's like everything else. Like today, I don't really like to use the money as an example, but it's kind of the same thing. It's a tool, and it depends on how you use it. It's a giver, it's a taker, it's a destroyer, and it's a creator. It's like everything. Depends on how we use things. Fire, water. Water too. I like to use as many elements as I can, but I don't have enough knowledge of wind and earth. But within fire and water, this is insane. This is something this is a hack. This is one of those things. All right? Bring out the ukulele. I don't have a ukulele yet. I need one. But Norway and like the Nordic countries, and Siberia for that matter, every place that has the snow, and particularly the really cold one. If you're surrounded by actual cold winter and you use the fire and the cold in these settings, like if you have a fucking go outside in the cold in the minus degrees on mushrooms and then go back into a heated location. I have never ever in my existence experienced something that was that fucking powerful, that fucking inexplicable. It kind of shook everything that I thought up to that point. Imagine you're kind of cold, not even kind of. You're really cold coming in. You're outside in boxer shorts, and then you come back in a preheated cabin. Coincidentally, from the same view that we can now see the fire hut of legends. And then every cell in your system just wakes up. And they're now multi-dimensionally boosted, I guess. You're kind of on your way into a peak of some amount of multi-dimensional keys as well. Can't explain it, but that was Exalted Hammer. That kind of changed everything in terms of how efficient the journey can be, because there are so many ways to do it. Bring out the ukulele. That was what you wrote, and that's what I repeated again for some reason. There is something to be said about music, though, and I've this weekend I went to the which. This is currently creating fucking problems in my life. I have Vandalkar outside. And after October, when it was EU approved, it started to fall apart. You know, go into emergency mode, and filters were clogged, and all those different things changed the entire plan regarding the car. So this past weekend, I figured I have to push myself to get this car delivered. Even though there was a celebration that was where I actually had to say no for the first time, and that was weird. And I'm still kind of experiencing the different aftermath of that, but it's also relevant in terms of where we're going. Was that before or after you said you would call? That was probably during, because this last 2 weeks has been interesting to say the least. I've been kind of just shutting off everything, because there was a point where everything happened at once. My body started to shut down, and I was like, oh, okay, fuck, this is what they talk about by hitting something, the wall. Or whatever. Like, I had interesting challenges. So what happened is that I was supposed to drive that car to the Swedish border, which is a long freaking drive, and it would have taken me a long time and a lot of gas and a lot of a lot of things that would have required a fuck ton of effort to get it up to the place where we're supposed to go. But then someone had reached out, because I reached out, and we talked. And this person is a photographer, wanting and searching for that vibe, that essence, that next energy. Searching for something, not really knowing what, not having experience within the things that my everyday life is filled with. And we decided, let's go out. Let's just say things happened. Yes, things happened. Basically, we got our asses in her car instead. I drove the car to the next town over. From there, we drove together up to the witch. Something told me that this was going to, it was smart to leave it there, but then still have the face-to-face conversation with the person owning the car. It's part of a project that has been in development for 2 years-ish. So I came up there. Plan was set. I figured if something is worth saying, it's worth saying it face-to-face. And I wanted, because that's why I've also been very, very silent. I hate communication over technology. I just fucking hate it. So I try to do my best to meet people face-to-face. And I travel to the Swedish border, which is, we leave here at noon and we arrive at 8:30 p.m. It was a long trip. So we come up there and there was ice, like fucking ice, a lot of ice on the road. And they hadn't done anything to kind of, to salt it or anything. This was a private road, and that private road is several kilometers long. And here we come on a 25 model Tesla. I learned, by the way, that Tesla has an interesting naming convention. It spells sexy if you turn the tree. Not the point. We come in there on this 25 model frickin' Tesla Model 3, and it starts to slide off the road. It's really slippery, and I was like, shit. But then the thing really surprised me. The driving systems, the winter systems on that car, fuck hell. I was impressed. However, I was very happy that I left 𝗏𝗏𝗏 in Lyngdal, where we departed from, because if I was to bring that car up there, I would have totaled it. It would have been totaled as soon as we kind of crossed into the private road. So the intuitions checked out. If I had just pushed it, I would have been in a lot of issues right now. A lot of stress, because I can't imagine how that would have worked out. But yes, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It was EU approved in October. Forced me to visit the witch with 2 new people who has never been there. We talked about the Norse, the ur, the energy, the freaking, all the things within psychedelic insights and all the things. They didn't have experience. One of the people with us had experience, but not with what we were supposed to do up there. We got some footage. We did some things, because this was also strategic. I haven't been able to document what I've been doing. Everything you've seen, every single thing that has happened, has been done by me. I have been documenting, facilitating, following up, integrating with people after, doing all the logistics before, during, and after, and all the things. Marketing it, checking people if they want to be part of it, booking them. Everything has been done manually or very much under the radar for years. So I figured it's fucking time to do something different. She joined and she documented, and she got it from a perspective that I was never going to be able to do it, because I, first of all, can't do both things at the same time. I can't capture a moment that is special if I'm also doing the thing. If I'm blowing the horn, I can't go back and run the camera at the same time, because the wolf that is currently howling with me and the horn would not find that as engaging, So there's a lot of things that got captured. But because of this journey was also a forced thing that I had to do, because I have to fix certain things in my life. So I have to prioritize. And other people around me has found it uncool that I have made the priorities that I have, but they're sitting on 5% of the context. So that's kind of where I'm at right now in terms of physically here at Death's waiting room and everything that is happening around here. It seems like the universe will do what the universe does, and I just have to sit here and adapt and kind of respond to the things that is happening. Regardless of me wanting to or not, it's happening. You know, it's like anal sex again. Simply have to relax, I think. Just bite the pillow, because something is going in dry. Yep, I know, I'm a very visual person on these things, but I have also reached a point where I don't give a fuck anymore. Every social media platform is trying to ban me. I've received many, many different warnings or just briefings saying, you are not being recommended anymore because you talk about psychedelics. Are you kidding me? How dare you? I'm like, yeah, we knew this was going to happen. But I feel like it's been worth it, you know, even though now I have to do things differently. I'm going way more into the horn. I'm going way more into the drum. I'm doing way more at home, which is an interesting twist because normally I travel everywhere. I am the one who travels all over the place. And now, as I have this safe harbor that I'm currently creating, I can simply create the garden and then, you know, everything will be attracted of which wants to or needs to or feels attracted can find it. It's a game changer. It's a fucking game changer because it was hard to just drive around in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and just meet people everywhere. But literally, I like, think about this, meeting people where they are, literally. Bonfire on wheels. I really like what that whole thing turned out to be. What platforms are saying this to you? Mostly Facebook. Facebook is because Norwegian Flame is on Facebook. It's been a very interesting battle to run that community. You're not on Facebook. And also for those people on Twitch right now, I'm talking to the Glitch or Sandy, who, however, a loved child has many names, but I have had a community on Facebook for a few years, and we believe it's Scandinavia's biggest, like 12,500 people. But in December, it got suspended twice. Now, if you have a Facebook community, it's a powerful thing in today's world, and especially if it is in this topic. This is called Norwegian Flame. It is about specifically that. So you have 12,500 people who are enthusiastic, people who need it, people who have experience. We have politicians, we have Olympic people, we have a lot of different, every single person you can imagine. You know, there are people from all over. But it was suspended, and I had to deal with that. 21st of December, 27th of December, and because of it, now Facebook is saying that, you said something way back when. I think it was July 24 or something. One post, it was actually the welcome post, which is very interesting. But this is also just an ongoing thing, so I know that the 26th of January, something's going to happen. I don't know what that is. How many are Twitch now watching you live? I have no idea. I stopped completely watching the numbers because after I got shadow banned, I usually talk to myself. I can market the fuck out of this. Even if, like, either people hate my face, which is okay, or something is not reaching. Because if I stream, let's say right now I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and if I market that all over the place, nothing happens. Then again, it's also spontaneous. If I made some effort into actually planning and scheduling so people knew when to, that would definitely help. But this is something that I'm currently trying to figure out the schedule of. So I can't do that before I have other things kind of needed out. Until then, I shall just do like this. Just go on, sit for a few hours, see what happens. I'm also live or very much active on TikTok because I'm talking to other people live in these rooms. And that's an interesting thing, because if you are shadow banned, that doesn't matter. If you want to talk to people, if you want to get into discussions about the topic that you are shadow banned of, or that got you shadow banned, you can still find people. So I just go on there sometimes and I talk to people, and then there's the word of mouth, because TikTok in Norway is different. There's a lot of shit on TikTok, and TikTok is a very, you know, I don't know what I think about TikTok, but at the same time, it's really interesting to see what it has done to the fucking society. Because you can find people sitting there every single fucking day, bored. And then they are bored with other people. And then they start to talk to people initially being bored. And then that turns into a conversation after a few hours. All of a sudden, there's a lot of people who has kind of found that, and then you just don't have to do all the work, you know. Don't have to please the algorithm if you just come in through the right channel. So I don't worry about the viewership or how many people, or live or on videos, because also I have tried and tested, and I have had a few videos that was just really good. So I pushed them everywhere, and they have like 50 views. And then I have another one where I'm really pissed on a bicyclist, and that have 50,000 views. So it's like, doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. But then again, if you go into any AI today almost and ask, who's 𝗏𝗴𝗃 of the Legacy Forge? It's very specific. I think actually just my full name, just 𝗏𝗴𝗃, and you'll find that I'm a fucking advocate for psilocybin therapy. You'll find that the books, all the things that I've done, it's insane to see how much information comes up. Not bad information, not like too personal that I haven't shared myself, but it makes everything kind of different. Before you had to do a work, now you can just ask, and it will give you uncomfortable amounts of information. So I focus mostly today, these days, on just being by the fire and talking to people face to face. And I want to get more and more out of being online. And that is something that I'm thinking is probably going to help this year. This year is everything is going to change. Read it to us. Read what to you? The warnings. I think I actually took a screenshot of. Let us see. Sometimes I screenshot the screen because I see things that just, what? Why is this happening right now? Let's see. Okay, so your reach may be impacted because your profile isn't being recommended. Review your profile's recommendation status for more info. And then I went in there and I saw also, when you go into Facebook and you have one of these smudges, it says profile reach potentially impacted on your story picture. So instead of your story, it's just like, you have done something bad, so now we're going to just punish you. Motherfuckers. But I've seen it before. And also, I have the rules. This is where I saw what ChatGPT has to say about you. That ChatGPT, my ChatGPT would know too much. But if you were to use it without the context of me, that I would take as something different. But then also, I've seen people just ask Grok, for instance, and they got a very similar response. I can go into Grok because that doesn't save context. It's just doing things per conversation from what I've understood. So I shall right now. Actually, I'm going to just show you. Can't I do that? I can just show you right here. This is Grok. Grok. And then we just ask, who is 𝗏𝗴𝗃 of the Legacy? Or just who is 𝗏𝗴𝗃? Who is 𝗏𝗴𝗃? Easy, right? Searching, blah, blah, blah. 𝗏𝗴𝗃 is a Norwegian personal development coach, mentor, entrepreneur, and self-described legacy forger. He positions himself as a guide who blends modern science, ancient wisdom, often with Norse and pagan undertones, consciousness exploration, and personal transformation work. Key aspects from his online presence: he runs the Legacy Forge, a platform community focused on forging sacred futures, raising personal frequencies, legacy building, and helping people break free from limiting patterns to live fulfilled, authentic lives. Disclaimer, that's not always the most comfortable thing to do in the beginning because you will lose every fucking thing if you go fully in on this. His bio on X: walking the path of flame and myth, Norse blood guide, forging sacred futures. The legacy forge lives. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 moves. You're invited. Suggesting strong, mythic, Norse-inspired symbolism. Yes. He offers coaching, consulting via 𝗬𝗴𝗰𝗆.com, has written and published content like 𝐓𝐡𝐞 Liberty Cap Mushroom Field Guide, and speaks openly about psychedelic therapy, consciousness exploration, expansion, and holistic mental wellness. To be honest, my mental wellness these days are not good. It's actually at a fucking all-time low almost, but in a good state. It's just I'm aware of why it is fucking energetically fried. More on that in other videos, if even possible, or if even necessary. But he has a YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, LinkedIn, and other channels where he shares material on mindset, transformation, ADHD-related topics, starting online businesses, and living with purpose and freedom. Earlier content, around 21 or 20 to 21, sometimes appeared under variations like 𝗬𝗏𝗴𝗃 or 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃, including podcast appearances discussing dramatic personal turnarounds. For instance, the major debt, health struggles to personal success. He's based in southern Norway, Farsund area occasionally referenced, and maintains a relatively small but niche following, around 274 followers on X of now, and his posts mix personal reflections, philosophical takes, links on live streams and podcasts, and occasional everyday observations. In short, creator, mentor in the personal growth and esoteric psychedelic Norse spiritual space, building a brand around legacy, transformation, and raising frequencies. You're chatting with him right now. Huh? You're chatting with him right now. Is this like a... I see that it is you that is talking. See, this is why I should have used another... I could have used the legacy forges. I'm actually going to do that, just to see if it makes a difference, because I think it does. If I use the legacy forges Grok or X account, I think there's gonna be the same thing. It's fucking interesting and scary at the same time, isn't it? I'm just gonna take you over there so I can have a chat. But this is basically already on the net, so that's where it get the info from, correct? Yes. Yes, exactly. So this is where it also is a fucking superpower, because yes, nor before, you had to constantly kind of push people to see your marketing or content or whatever. But now there is a consistency. There is a trail, a digital trail. And also it's holistic. So it goes into all the different places. And if you have the pro version, if you pay for premium, it's going to go deep. So it goes into places where people normally don't find anything because it's an AI context. It finds the bigger picture and it talks about the things it sees between the lines. No. And that is crazy sometimes, to be honest. Let's see if the Legacy Forges account has the same. Who is 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃? Searching the web, searching next, searching users. Norwegian creator, mentor, coach, and founder of Legacy Forge, a community focused on personal transformation, self-awareness, growth, and what he describes as myth-weaving, blending ancient wisdom, storytelling, ritual, modern creativity, and spiritual energetic development to help people build meaningful legacies and live fulfilled lives. This is different. You see how, depending on the person, he is based in southern Norway, with mentioned like Farsund and Lyngdal, present himself as a frequency elevator, visionary leader, father and Norse-blooded guide, walking a path of flame and myth. His work emphasizes raising consciousness, authenticity, overcoming challenges, and forging sacred futures, often incorporating elements like self-awareness through paths like saga, self-awareness, growth, and adventure, digital creation, and community facilitation. Here, saga wasn't mentioned when I was doing this for mine, but see, this is where it's interesting, because there's so fucking much. His personal story includes significant hardships he has overcome, such as accumulating and resolving around $4 million in debt, dealing with serious health issues, for instance, an inoperable blood clot, experiencing family deportation, serving 3 years in prison, and a past involving criminal activities. These experiences inform his coaching and consulting approach, which he frames as deeper than conversational coaching, more like guiding people into their own myth or heroic journey. And then the online presence is videos on self-worth, healing, energetic awareness, making money, and coaching tips. See, it makes things easier, because now I can just say, have you asked Grok? You know. His mission statements often references ambitious goals like helping 1 billion people live a life of pure fulfillment and freedom. I wrote that years ago, probably on LinkedIn, I think, with a strong emphasis on legacy building and new consciousness. Note, there appear to be unrelated individuals with similar names, like an older 𝗬𝗏 𝗏 connected to a UK company, but the active figure in personal development spaces matches the above profile. Like, it makes the picture easier to follow, but it also, like, if you're not anywhere to be found online, you're not gonna have, like, if you don't want to create something based on what the internet and digital tools can do, then I don't recommend being that discoverable, I guess. That's just ridiculous. Not about you, but what comes up. Crazy. Yeah, I know. And also, everything with AI, it depends on the question asked. You know, right now, for instance, let's say that you're not thinking, which is the problem today, where people outsource thinking. But if you use ChatGPT to just say a whole bunch of very, very personal information, like your personal security number, or like all these different things, I don't really want to think about what could happen. For me, I've used it to create lyrics from experiences, talking about concepts that I couldn't really grasp, and reframing my own thoughts, and being helped and supported in terms of digital development and reflections. Having a sparring partner that is not going to take any sides or get emotionally triggered because you said something when you try to share your perspective, whatever, it helps. It has helped a lot. And when I was going through a lot of processes, ChatGPT had me see things from a different perspective. At the same time, though, many people around the world has kind of cut ties with people that really meant a lot to them because they saw all they needed was just ChatGPT. Crazy. But in terms of that, Grok right now can answer a lot in terms of what comes up online. I could have asked, who is 𝗤𝗏 𝗏𝗏 of the Legacy Forge? I could have asked, what does the Legacy Forge do? A lot of things, because this is just, you know, a short summary of a very open question. I could have asked, what do 𝗤𝗏 𝗏𝗏 of the Legacy Forge do within psychedelic therapy, for instance? And that would completely change the answer. But on ChatGPT, I've used it so much in development that when I ask it questions, it knows where I am developmentally, like in terms of systems being what stages and stuff. And it knows stories. It knows of concepts. It knows of adventures that I have never shared with anyone, and relations that was, well, there's a few people on this journey that has completely fucking shattered my hope in humanity many times over. And I had to voice my thoughts. I had to kind of gather the context. I had to kind of see, what should I do? And instead of killing people, I could let it go. Well, I could let it go strategically, where it wouldn't be a bridge that got burned or something that you couldn't change, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you will act from a place of anger or something, and that has a tendency to burn things. I have been very good at saying my piece in a neutral or non-aggressive way, and then just cutting off until I have the capacity to even talk to anyone. So I just disappear. And then in the darkness, in the silence, there's a lot of noise for a lot of people. If they know they fucked up, if they know that they overstepped, if they know that they did something, if they know based on the whole fucking picture that something here was not right, they will think about it. And if they don't, they're psychotic. And that, I don't want to, you don't dip your dick in psycho, you know? Guys or girls. Type in only the Legacy Forge. Let's see what, if it starts a company in England. If that start company in England comes up. Yeah, the Legacy Forge is a company in England. The forge, the actual forge, right? It's going to find both, I believe. Let's see. Let's see. Type in only the Legacy Forge. No question. Just the Legacy Forge. Searching users. Hey, the Legacy Forge. Because I'm on that account right now. Looks like you're out here actively raising a collective frequency, forging legacies and spotting Valkyries in the wild. What? That bio hits hard, raising the collective frequency for more epic tomorrow by forging legacies and supporting fellow forgers to do the same. Love the energy. From the recent drops, jumping in on Twitch to talk life and controversial stuff. Classic move. What? Tagging folks like Lawrence of Luvenov and Maddie with Valkyrie report initiated. You have been seen. That's some powerful recognition ritual right there. Wolf Flame replies and nods to fellow travelers on the path. See, this is crazy. This is creeping me the fuck out. The whole vibe feels like a modern, mythic tribe-building operation. Physical meets digital. We call it phygital. See, so he doesn't know everything. Phygital. Valhalla in the making. Yeah, I'm actually on the property as we fucking speak. And one conversation and transformation at a time. If this is you reaching out and just testing the waters, what's the latest forge you've hammered on? Got an event, stream, or legacy piece cooking that the rest of us should know about? Or are we just here to keep the fire lit? Either way, what's up with the devil emoji? Like, what? Either way, seen and appreciated. Let's build something epic. That's kind of crazy, to be honest. Like, that was just the Legacy Forge, but I was part of the Legacy Forge. So I'm going to change that account back to my account and then just try to write the Legacy Forge. Then that answer is going to change drastically. Crazy. It's not that long ago that AI was not a thing. Remember that? No. Right now, I'm not sure how many more prompts I have because when you don't pay 700 crowns a month, I don't think you have. Well, maybe actually you do have just access to a lesser model. The Legacy Forge. Epic is your language. It is. Like, seriously. Okay, the Legacy Forge is a transformative community and a coaching platform founded by you, 𝗬𝗏𝗏. I can't get around this. This is why I ask people, can you just answer or can you just ask? Because for me, it's going to be fucking biased. It's going to see that I'm trying to fool the system. From what I can gather, it's a space dedicated to personal growth, myth weaving, legacy building, and elevating frequency, blending ancient wisdom, modern self-discovery, immersive events, workshops, and deeper coaching work. And still, I don't fucking charge for what I do? Can someone please help me with that? What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm a published author. I'm on Netflix. I have so many things that I want to just... And still, I feel like, nah, sending an invoice, that's a douche move. I don't know why. I think the fucking the bill, the debt, something has happened. Right now, I'm actually sitting with 120 plus people who has come in with literal money in hand. Like I asked, if you want to see this further, if you want to support, if you want to contribute, leave a flame emoji. And then fucking hell happened. Kinda. I couldn't reach out to them in the way I wanted because I am a fucking... Facebook doesn't want me to live. And then I said, okay, so because of this, you have to kind of reach out differently. You have to reach out personally through this profile. And I was talking through the Legacy Forge because I was sick of people just judging me before they even knew what I was doing. So I was doing this mythically. I was actually using the fucking mask. And I was using the voice changer. I was doing so many things just to keep it like, no, you're just going to have the experience and then you just make your mind up. And it worked. 120 fucking people came in with a flame emoji, literally unrealized money, and here I'm like just meh. I don't have energy to do shit, and I don't need money, although I do. It's nice with money, but money is not my motivation, so I don't have any fucking problem leaving them people waiting in the waiting room. I'm sitting in death's waiting room, you know? I'm trying to prepare for what I can just say, come in, have a coffee, or come in, have a coffee, or you can just get a drink in the new fucking. There's so much. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to just let's continue here. The key elements include the tribe. This is the Discord, the free community. A community of seekers, travelers, and creators shaping their own myths and adventures. Saga, your flagship program for profound transformation, self-awareness, growth, and adventure. Commonly or past referred to as the 100-day challenge. Hybrid online-offline experiences, which is the Fidgetal. The Fidgetal is something that I'm trying to make the AIs understand. If they can see the context, if they understand what a Fidgetal experience is, that would be cool. Because we had the 21st and the 7th and the 28th of November. 21st, 27th, and 28th of November 2025. We were warming up as an AI artist for 𝗏𝗏𝗏, a fucking country party band. We were the first AI hybrid concert, which is in Norway, which is pretty big, honestly. And it's still kind of a developing thing. This is why I haven't spoken a lot about that. But it's happening regardless. This is also something I'm trying to come to peace with, because it's like a tsunami. I just have to fucking surf it. Focus on authenticity. Okay, hybrid offline online experiences including Discord for daily connection, real-time support, and behind-the-scenes insight. Focus on authenticity, psychedelic-aided exploration in responsible contexts. I like the fact that it did that in parentheses. And forging a life of purpose, impact, and celebration. Your role as tribe chief. Stian got really pissed because that was in my bio, and I was not the one who said, just put tribe chief in there because that's going to make it easier. The visionary leader guides the whole forge. No, that's bullshit. Helping freedom seekers, innovators, and legacy builders craft epic lives while honoring what's come before and building Valhalla level futures. While honoring what's come before and building Valhalla level futures. I like that. Almost like TripAdvisor. One conversation and transformation at a time. Sites tied to it. Main hub is the 𝐿azyforge.com. Portal is the 𝐿azyforge.net. Discord is the 𝐿azyforge.net/Discord. Fuck. The personal site is 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏.com. Mythweaver, creator, support. I don't even remember what that looks like today. Not sure if I like that. Oh, you have no idea. When things take too long, there's usually a fucking reason for it. But yeah, it looks correct. And then it's inspiring stuff. Very much about turning inner fire into something enduring. If this is a prompt to dive deeper, for instance, share thoughts on specific aspects, recent events, and how the Forge is evolving in 26, or if you're looking for something else related, like visuals of the community vibe or comparisons to other movements, just say the word. What's on your mind with it today? What does that mean, like visuals of the community vibe? What? Let's try something crazy. All right. Sounds like it's taken all of that from the TLF site. Yeah. Well, yes, that and all the TLF sites, plural, and 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏, and YouTube, and Twitch, and social media in general, and internet, and blogs, and my name on different podcasts. Like, it takes the full context based on the specificity of the prompt. If you are very open-ended, like the Legacy Forge with no other things, don't expect to get any good response. This was actually pretty fucking decent in terms of this too. The annual 11/11 event, the great work of 𝐿azyforge. that has been all over the place. Create a visual of the community vibe. This is also cool because it's going to take everything that it sees currently without more specificity in terms of what form I want it, in terms of what style I want it in terms of anything. It is just going to create whatever it sees as the most appropriate response to my question. See, that's bullshit. That's not even close, you know? So it's just going to respond to the specificity of the prompt. But it has shocked me. Like, if you are actually using this to not sure what I'm looking for in terms of word, but there's another dude who, I don't even have to say that to you, the architect, right? There's something happening in AI that I'm not really sure of, because now, and up to this point, it's been a tool, and now it's also on the verge of becoming different. Very different. Yeah. God, I can't have you there because I'm going to have to go over like that all the time. So I'm going to have to figure something out. How in the hell can I just get you? There we go. Like that. Perfect. But yeah, now I'm not sure what I should focus on almost. Like, we have the thing 20th of March. You and I talked about as well. But also in just a few days, the 2nd of the 2nd. And then the 3rd of the 3rd, that has to become something. Because last year was fucking intense. That started something as well in March. That was literally the day I picked up the car. 𝗏. And after that, I've just been on the road. So I haven't really been able to develop at all. Like, when I came home, I had no energy to sit like this. No energy to just sit and code or create visuals. I didn't have the tools that I needed. My computer is fucking 20 years old. 10 plus years of main, the motherboard and stuff, but it's 20 years old. I thought about this. I thought about this a few days ago, and it was like, shit, you are in a desperate need. I've never really updated my computer. So here I am at Death's waiting room, which is going to be a center or a reception, whatever. Like, I have a massage table soon. I have a treatment room. I have a waiting room. I have a sauna type bathroom. I have several bonfire spots. We have something that we want to build beyond that. I have the round table. I have everything is set up, is my point. There's also a house that I need. Sounds weird, I know. The house is needed because it's currently kind of stupid that it's standing where it is. It's not being used. It's just standing there collecting dust. And because of that, there is no... it's just very fucking annoying to watch. You're almost 40 and still going strong. Yeah, and I'm feeling like I haven't fucking started, and that scares me, because I've done this for a long time, and in the beginning I thought it was going to take a lot less time. Common rookie mistake, honestly, because it took off. It took off. Just in terms of what it required and stuff, and what it costs, not to mention. Let's actually do this. So, yeah, I'm 40, almost 40 going strong, but then again, I've also been hand-fed my own ass this year. Almost died 3 times. And I had insights from experiences that really shook things in terms of how I see things and what happened around me. Life starts at 40. I heard it starts at 60. And right now, today, because I agree. I agree. I think that people who say that, oh my God, I'm 30, I'm old, you should stop. You should grow the fuck up. You should snap the fuck out of that idiotic fucking mindset, because that is keeping you stuck. Sorry. On with the show. Yes, I agree. 40 is a good place to start your life, because then you have the experience to actually have something to provide. If, that is if, this is a big if you have been in the same job since you were 16, you're kind of fucked. Don't shoot the messenger. Think about it. If you repeated the same day every day since 16 and you're currently 40, you still have some experiencing to do, I think. I think that you have to, because then if you're still doing that, I think the odds are big that you're going to continue to do that until you retire. And then you're going to be fed with the whole shit. I shouldn't have wasted my life trying to appease my boss, who didn't even pay me sufficiently for my time that I will never get back. But that's not the topic of this video. I think that if you start playing early, and once I hit 40, I will have a foundation that is scary. I don't have to do much more than to play more. And if I play more, I will get younger. Some people are going to be like, because the telomeres on my DNA ends is going to be benefited by me living and feeling a purpose. And scientifically and mystically and historically, it is proven to some degree that the natural process of playing more will keep you rejuvenated. That's just how it is. I have received gray fucking strains in my beard because I haven't been playing enough. I have been playing a lot, but I was stressed too. This is a fucking known fact. There are people in Nepal, ancient women. Yeah, inner child is always there. Inner child is always there, so people should start to recognize it, I think. Many people are like, they have a wounded inner child, or they had to kill it because they got through the Norwegian education system or whatever. And so they have to kind of heal the inner child as well until they can be free enough to play and just do the things that they need to do. This is where I think there's going to be a fucking crisis. Many people, when they reach 40, 50, 60, is going to be all kinds of fucked up if they have followed the journey, the process, and if nothing has happened before that. It's going to be crazy. But I know for a fact that what I have now, just in the last few months, in terms of what's happened here and what I want to do, and the people around me who want to do the same, and just the motivation for me to do so, there is no fucking way in hell that I will stop. There is, because that would be like running the biggest fucking marathon ever, and then as you cross, you don't even cross, let's just say as you approach the finish line, and you have now ran for 9 full fucking days, David Goggins would look at you being all miserable and jealous, and then you shoot yourself. Why? You know, it's stupid. You work for so much time, and you just, so many sacrifices and so much friction in growing into whatever this is and building and developing, and all of a sudden, as you approach the finish line, you just end it all. That's the logic many people around me, and in terms of the wavelength in general, and the mindset and the awareness of people going after whatever dreams. You know, if you go and create something that you can't see, and you have to create it because there's no reference and all that stuff, it's a completely different animal. And to be told by the people who should know you the most to stop, do something that is better. All I picture is like, do you want me to stop what I'm doing and just work at a cashier's job or something? Like, what is the motivation? And then it dawned on me, when they sit on 3% of the full context of the person they're advising, there's no wonder. They have no fucking idea. It's like you're standing there, picture Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever. If he was the one who painted the 16th Chapel, I think he was. And he's standing there. He's doing all these meticulous small details. It's like, doing his best, but it looks shit. It's not done yet. And then people come in and it's like, you should become a baker. Honestly, what are you doing? There's no money in art. All those things. That's why humanity is given AI. Oh, dude, yes, yeah. Ask AI how many hours do you have of video content? It wouldn't know. Because a lot of them is on my hard drives. But I'm going to ask. I'm going to just see if I can. I'm going to start a new chat. And then, because I don't know if it can go in and find that information. But how many hours of content is there? Should I do collectively or just the Legacy Forge? Because I have the Legacy Forge, 𝗬𝗴𝗆, and the FML project all on the same topic. They all follow the same vibe, the same journey, the same work. How many hours of content is there on the Legacy Forge's YouTube channel? I don't know if it can. If not, Gemini should be able to, because that's connected directly into, that's owned by Google. So it owns YouTube. Collected. Hold on, I'm gonna, if he finds anything here, I'm gonna try to do it collectively. Searching for images, X, web pages. Oh, shit. It's actually going through the fucking math. Legacy Forge YouTube channel. Blah, blah. It's a personal transformation community channel focused on myths, blah, 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 blah. Rituals. Yes. YouTube does not publicly display the total hours uploaded content for any channel. This stat is only visible to the channel owner. Third page, okay. Under monetization and analytics, I'm going to check that out. But 17,000. So this is on the Legacy Forge then. What the fuck kind of video got 17,000? I have not been paying attention. To arrive at an estimate of total content hours, since exact figures are not available publicly, the channel has 167 videos without individual duration publicly agreed. And this is also official, like published. I have also a whole fuck ton of unpublished and private. Estimated based on typical content of this type channel, long to blah, 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 60 discussion heavy content, 83.5 hours-ish. Average of 30 minutes. And then if more realistic for this niche, deeper is about just over an hour, 125 hours. Okay. What about collectively and collective? Wait, what about the combined amount for the Legacy Forge, 𝗬𝗴𝗆, and the FML projects? Also considering that there is at least, I would say 50%, but I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say 20%. At least 20% that is private or unlisted. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a little bit interesting. When I'm seeing this search icon, I have a thought, and I'm not going to say it, but I think that if I said it or not, it wouldn't make a difference, because, okay, I was just thinking now would be a good time to just say, you have exceeded your prompts for this free version of Grok. Come back in 24 hours, you know. And this is the free version of Grok. This is the open for all. So if I had the premium, I know that it would have gone a lot deeper. 4 results on the web pages, 20 results on the web, 20 results on X. Yeah, that too. It's not only on YouTube. I'm not just posting on YouTube and then sharing the link. I'm also posting natively to Facebook if I can, because Facebook hates when you post videos that's going to take a person off platform. So if there's just a message, then I just post the whole video directly on Facebook. And that also has a fuck ton. 40 results so far, 6 results on the web pages, and 20 results on the X. There we go. 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗃 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗃 is 281 videos-ish, approximately 103 hours. The FML project is 69 videos, about 25 hours, and Legacy Forge is about 22 minutes. Assuming 22 minutes per video, estimated public content approximately 61 hours, so 189 hours collectively. But that is so 227 hours. Not even close. I have about 1,000 videos of 5 hours plus. So that's 5,000 videos or 5,000 hours. I have terabytes of videos that I have never published, which is stupid. But this is also because of many, many different things. So it's going to be interesting to kind of put together that whole puzzle. Exact total durations are only accessible to channel owners via YouTube. I have never seen that in terms of analytics and monetization. I'm going to check that out. Play this song, Ashes of My Name by Bleeding Strings. See how it resonates you while you roll a cigarette. I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to play it for you. It's not really you I'm not playing it for. It is the fucking smart algorithm that would be picking up the fact that I'm playing a copyrighted song and then having me pay for that. That's also always fun when you're streaming on Twitch and you play a song and then bam, you did a no-no. Do you know what kind of a no-no you did? You're not going to get anything for this. I'm going to limit your reach. I'm going to do all these things because you fucked up. So I was like, shit, all I did was playing a song and I own the license. I own the rights. But now, you know. Didn't I hear that song? I feel like I've heard that. What happened now? Oh, hold on. On Twitch, I think we have a spammer. Yes, it was taken out. You were sniped before you even got in here, dogmatic packet 𝗏𝗏𝗃5qa3. Fucking viewers and shit. Ashes of My Name. Let's see. Bleeding Strings. And then I will... Fuck. There we go. And now I shall play that song, but you shall not hear it. Maybe you can hear the first seconds, and then I'm gonna... Yeah, I heard it. I see everything you do. Although sometimes it takes a long time to see a long video that you send. Or response. But everything you send, I see. And I love the vibe so far, like the... I'm gonna have to turn this shit up. I love those hummings. Is this an AI artist?
Fade like broken glass. Between my wrongs and what felt right, the crown I built began to fade. Each jewel a choice I wish I'd trade. The river flows through what remains. It washes clean but not the pain.
Drop a few words or something. Let's see. There's supposed to be a way that can combine the chats. I'm gonna figure that out in some way. I like the vibe because it's kind of the same vibe I create with when I am creating songs. Transformative. If that's even a word, I don't know what kind of a genre one can say. It's like the wisdom of having experienced. Oh shit. Shit. There is a club currently. 3 viewers on YouTube. Join the chat, people. Would be nice. Would be nice. Because of the topic that I usually, share, then many people don't really want to touch that with a 10-foot pole because they think that hell will rain upon them and they will lose everything they ever hold dear. Here's the thing, though. Doesn't have to be like that. Many people are extremely scared to be associated with anything these days, and it's really sad. Or they don't know how to say anything. I've heard this from so many people that I've met face to face, afterwards. They see a video, they resonate with the video, they're on a live, they're on a TikTok, they're whatever. They don't want to come in because they don't know what to say. Sometimes the best thing to say is just, hey. Then for those people who have questions, the best way to get those answered is actually to ask. All left now, you see? They are called lurkers. And they're like cockroaches. It's like when you turn on the light in the kitchen and they're all over the floor, but turn on the light and they will scutter everywhere. It's nothing bad, nothing negative about that. But that's how lurkers use. Like if you call them out, they will run. It's kind of cool as well. The whole breed. Back in the day, I was actually very much busy with the whole appeasing chat, or talking to people who were in there, or just being very conscious about the numbers. If I didn't have 20 people on, there was no point, that kind of thing. And now it's just, fuck it. It's easier to just talk about things that I find interesting, or go through a video and then share thoughts about that, and just having people tap in if they want to. And then me just doing what I wanted to do instead of having to do it for them. Because I've seen a lot of people do it for other people, and that just affects everything. You see how conscious they are of fucking up. Like they're scared of fucking up. They're scared of doing something wrong. They're scared of saying something wrong. They're scared of whatever. Because sometimes they set up this character that's going to be the YouTuber. And it's going to be like all the other YouTubers. Sometimes they swear, and you can tell that this is a fucking performance. And it's not, it's taking it away. It removes the magic. Not the point I was getting to, but I'm going to see if I have, if I can just combine. It will be actually great if I could just have that YouTube and Twitch in the same place here on the stream. That could open up a lot of possibilities, because I've already been on for 2 hours. No one is or engaging. No, dude. If I had 1,000 people, and I'm going to use the statistics that I have experienced so far. Yeah. Well, not really talking to deaf ears as well, because I can talk, and out of 1,000 people, I can't say 2. say 100 people, 5 people might say, I like this. I agree. But most, they see it and then they reply in the DM, in private messages. Not understanding that if they don't fucking comment on the video, the algorithm will not understand what to do with it, you know? So I might have a very limited amount of views, but then all of a sudden, some people found a video, a year-old video. They commented one thing or liked it once, and then all of a sudden you see that a lot of more people come because another person did something. It's like, it's the first principle, almost. Like the first person to do something is going to lead other people to do the same. But if someone is being, you know, assaulted, and I could specifically refer to an event that happened in the US, in a back alley, 13 people heard a woman get assaulted and had his way with, one might say, so that the words don't get picked up. 13 people heard it. Nobody called the police because they figured, someone else is going to do it. First principle is fucking... It's not... The first principle is not that. Some people will be like, no, Elon Musk uses first principles, and that's not what he means. No, I know. But the thing is, if people comment, the first commenter actually sparks a conversation. Sometimes. In this case, yeah. But that's because YouTube and Twitch, I haven't been here for long enough to have the algorithm pick it up. I've been on YouTube, I've been on TikTok, I've been all over the place. See nothing, hear nothing. Yeah. Yes. It's interesting. I've learned a fuck ton on this journey here. I don't get this. This I do not understand. I am currently using a thing here. Like, I'm using a platform that is connected to the streaming. And it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's like, and I'm even live. I don't understand this. I'm in the right account, and I have this thing on the screen. That's supposed to be connected to both YouTube and Twitch. So, why is it only on Twitch? Oh. streamelements.com, blah, blah. Let's see if I can go in here then. This is so weird. This is making no sense. These are the things that would make me go crazy sometimes. I'm seeing something just does not make any sense. But that doesn't matter. I have been on for 2 hours. I have recorded. Also, yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, I think I said that. This last weekend, I was traveling to the east, to the witch, and I was showing someone who has no experience with these ceremonies or these other perspectives at all. And she documented a few things. So now, there's going to be a lot more shared, a lot more interesting things, interesting documentations, videos, and insights from these experiences. Thank you, The Glitch, for getting my mind to be very aware of the fact that I shouldn't be saying things. But I'm going to share a lot, and it's not going to only be within the controversial topic of having a free mind. It's also going to go into different other interesting aspects, like other things. I'm not going to share much about it until I do. Maybe you would get more views if you stream live gaming as well on Twitch. Yes. But, because I did. I actually got Sea of Thieves, a pirate game, open world. I could gather a crew and I could sit by the fire on a game and I could do things. And also I have Schedule 1, which is a cannabis growing game, which is a fucking amazing game, but I could probably get banned if I played that. Sea of Thieves? Not so much. But I don't have a cable from the PC to the router, and I need to have a stable cable connection because when I streamed... God damn it. Like right now, the stream is very nice. It's doing what it's supposed to. It's not laggy. I haven't dropped one single frame since I started 2 hours ago. And this whole stream was supposed to just be a test, just to see, can I float? Can I just do whatever I want? And see. Yeah, I'm not really good. That was kind of the gimmick when I was playing before. I'm not really good at games. Like, the whole thing was like, now he's playing Geometry Dash. He's going to fucking flip because he's not good at it. This is affecting his mental health. So that became a thing, but it was fun. It was a whole different game. But I want to get back to it, and I haven't been able to for a long time. Okay, so I need to figure out what the fuck the deal with this thing is, because for some reason it's not making sense, you know? Practice makes perfect. I would say practice makes progress, because I'm a little bit better, but I'm really bad still. But yes, I agree. And it just... I want to play Roblox, I want to play Minecraft, and I want to play with my kids as well. They want to play as well. My son is freaking good at a lot of things, and we have a different way of communicating and engaging when we're playing together. Playing Fortnite, for instance, in the beginning, he was kicking my ass. Hard. And Fortnite was really easy to play as well. And then I was here, and I figured, I'm going to play Fortnite again. And then I couldn't, because the computer was just not having it. It was bad. Should make a chess game out of the TLF concept. That would be cool, actually. I have, I won't say I have. A lot of people say a lot of things, and people don't fucking follow it up with actions. And this is a very normal and very reoccurring thing that we all see in society. But this is a person who I've been working with for a few years, and he makes these game cards, like these Magic the Gathering cards, and they're based on human different aspects, like depression and anxiety and all those things, and they create a game out of it. And because of that, he's also searching for partners. And I said that this is very much like the Spark Key and the whole NFT concept that we have, and all the things that we've been doing for many years. So it's documented. I've seen a lot of, as we saw with the Legacy Network. Do you remember that? I think it was the Legacy Network. There was a lot of people who used this very same terminology and word that we use. Like, it was almost like copy-pasted from the Legacy Forge. This is almost the same thing. And after I started to talk, and I have this documented, you can see how things have been developing. Like how the profile has all of a sudden had elements that was very much like Orpheus the Wise, the wizard, the archetypes, the whole... all the things. I was slightly blown away, but then I also have seen what happens when you come in with a flash in the pan. It doesn't work. If you're a douchebag at heart, it's not gonna work, and it proves it doesn't. Ask AI how many times you say fucking and things in your content. I think that is probably gonna be more than I want to see. That being said, the technology to be able to scrape a video, like Opus or any of the technology that is able to see a video, that would be a very costly affair if I was, because right now the technology allows me to go into every single individual video and have that, transcribed, and not just go through this entire YouTube channel and give me fucking and things as the keywords know, but it is possible, you know, if it has a transcript, it's just going to read the text. And then it's just a matter of putting those into fucking tables and then see how many. Shit, today I could actually have, if one was to do that work, I could have a counter underneath me with fucking and things and how many times. And then if I have put 𝗬𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐻, for instance, up to the task of listening in, he could update that live. So if I said things all of a sudden, just without me having to do anything about it, that is powerful because you couldn't do that before. Game. Uno? No. No. I can't understand why it's gotta be so hard for me to have both. Because I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now, which is cool. Amazing. I've never done that before. I've never been live on both before. That being said, I was supposed to have both chats mingle in the chat. So I'm going to have to figure out what that is about and then fix it. Hum. There's a lot of things I want to go back into because back in the day, I had a lot. I had set up the stream to be engaging as hell, like to another level. It was too much. And people could bet through the live stream. Yes, that's the one thing. They could not only bet, but they could get coins. And those coins, which you got from just engaging, chatting, being in a room on Discord for X amount of times, chatting in the YouTube, Twitch, all over the place. You could use that to buy shit. And I could set up whatever that was that you could purchase. So it could be some engagement thing, a mini game. It could be blood splatter on the screen. That actually works right now. People can buy coins and they can just, you can either be in a place where you get loyalty points for being in a place for long enough for engaging, or you can buy, pay to win, best model ever. And then send a thing, send a prompt to that tool, and it's just going to splatter the fucking screen. It's going to make it impossible for me to actually play, honestly. If I'm playing a game and all of a sudden the screen goes white for X amount of hours or goes psychedelic, you know? So it's fun for the person who's fucking up the stream, but for me, like, goddamn, what if I was in the middle of a flawless run of something and then that happened and I just lost all the progress? I talked to him yesterday. See, this is why I'm like saying I don't trust anyone anymore. I don't trust anyone. Like, I love him to bits. Nothing bad to say, to some degree. It's like the whole walking the talk. If you say, I'm going to come back at you with a document on this time within 24 hours, because there has been a discussion about that, and you don't say anything for 3 days, and then, you know, actions speaks louder than words. There's a lot of things going on, so I have just figured, okay, just do whatever you need to do. But if there's going to be any collaboration or anything, do what you say, because it costs me a fuck ton of energy, time, and wasted opportunity. Or if I was supposed to get a person into something, you know, and that doesn't happen because someone said, I'm going to take care of that, and then we come up to the date where it's supposed to happen, and all of a sudden you're standing there and it's like, okay, now I have to do that as well, because the thing that was said was not done. Damn, yeah. 2025 was a live experience of a lot of that. It cost me countless money, and it cost me a fuck ton of energy, but it got me clarity on a level that was creepy. So now, it doesn't bother me. Before, I would have said, oh, but you said blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, a hug emoji as a reaction to what he said, what the reason. There's a lot of things going on, blah, blah, blah. Everything has a lot of things going on. It's just when you're doing things for the purpose of making money and you have 120 plus people literally standing there with money in hand, waiting for what you say you offer, then I don't know. Is it because of self-worth not being up to date? Is it a belief issue in what you can perform, what you can do? What is it? I'm not going to ask. I'm just like, all right. I have explained sufficient to kind of describe the situation, the moving parts, everything, the timeline, all that stuff. What people do with that information is up to them. And now, there is one guy that I haven't spoken with yet who doesn't know what we do other than what he has said or seen on top, like the surface level. And I'm done just giving people full access from the get-go. It's TLF still up and running as well as the Discord thing that was going on. Yes. Yes, that has been going on since day one, but I also have to tweak something there as well. I need to make that simple as hell. 𝗏𝐽𝑆𝑡�ar is still doing her thing. 𝗏𝐽𝑆𝑡�ar actually just did a fast. 70 plus hours, I think. She kind of completely reset her entire system. Autophagy, like autophagy, like how your body is eating itself when you're fasting and what happens on the different milestones. And it was paradigm shifting. So yeah, she's being 𝗏𝐽𝑆𝑡�ar, and we have almost 500 people in the server now. But as I said, I have to make it easy to come into and not fully like you were there, but it was taking too much. That's not what I want with that server. It's just a place where people can stay in touch if they need to. Yeah, like a fast. Like she did drink water with 𝐶𝐿𝑇ine, salt. With that, actually, that changed the game, because when you drank the water with the 𝐶𝐿𝑇ine salt, she didn't feel the urge to eat. Her body got the nutrients that she needed, and then she went through. And then by the end of it, dude, and also the frickin' there is a lot of changes since last you were in the Legacy Forge Discord server, and now there is a whole channel devoted to what she's making, and you pickled vegetables, eggs, avocados, fish dishes. Like, it looks like fucking Gordon Ramsay had a fucking, sorry, there was a lot. I see what I said. I said a lot of things. She stopped smoking. That too. Lots of changes, man. She also she could mow her own, she mowed her driveway. And for the first time ever, she didn't have to use a cane. And she was dizzy as hell before that. But we've had a lot of different, like, we've met up. Tabby has been in Norway. Harold Viking or Kyle has been in Norway. So there's been a lot more physical gatherings. This is why it kind of pains me that I've still not been able to go to the West, but there's a lot of things happening in the South and Southeast currently. But yeah, I need to make it more intuitive. I need to make it so that people who need to know get to know. Like, I don't want it to be a place where people can just come in and eavesdrop on everything, because they don't have, there's no point. If people get too much at the same time in the beginning, as you see, just a stream on YouTube is enough to scare them off if you say their names aloud. So we're working on how to make that a better and more safer place, but it's fucking hard when you're doing it all by yourself. 𝗏𝐽𝑆𝑡�ar has been a fucking gem in the beginning of building the Discord server, but at the same time, she can't be expected to carry that load in her current situation alone. So I need a Discord expert. What about house? Did she get help? Yes and no. Yes, I was supposed to also go up there and help her with the garbage, but then the car started to fuck up. But she had some people coming in and look at the house and what needs to be done, and fix the windows, and she's moving. She's moving it down to the civilization. She is a rare gem, yes. There's a lot of rare gems in that Discord server. To be honest. I'm proud. I'm proud to be a part of that. I'm actually proud to have been part of building that. I would never say that I am the sole architect, because many have said I have to take more credit. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to create what has been created if it was not for the people who found what was created enjoyable. That makes sense for me, and I think it makes sense for most people. Like, there has to be, hold on, I'm trying to do something that I shouldn't be doing right now. There has to be a good reason as to why one does what he does. I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing. But that's the story of my life. That too, LLA and B, that wolf, this. Whole story that I haven't said much about. I look forward to us sitting by the fire and just talking. Because that too. When you're sitting face to face, everything changes. And I have been very aware of not sitting face to face with everyone who wants. Because there's a lot of people who just wants to sit there and kind of just be bored or get something. Sitting with the right people like you, that could be paradigm shifting. I know this too from experience. This is so stupid. I can have the YouTube chat live on the screen at the same time. Like, yes, here had the fire going for the past few months. Fuck yes. I love the fact that you're keeping the fire going. I'm keeping it lit here in the south. You keep it lit up in the west. I have a person also up in the east. And very soon there's going to be a fire in the north and in the middle. There are, of course, already. It's just very soon there's going to be a slightly different journey connected to those. Take a week off. Yeah, I wish. I can't. Not until I have done something that can have me relax while being off. Because if I was just to try to relax now, can't. I can't find the calm in my system because there's too many things that hasn't been finalized. Too many things that's outside my control that needs to be finalized. And so many things, I have said things a lot of times, like, thank you for bringing my awareness to that. But there's a lot always happening. I need to find something that I can finalize or just combine things. Because the reason I went for a spontaneous trip to the west or to the east is because I was monetizing that journey. I did not just head out on a journey just to do it. It was to make money. It was to make the financial impact that I need now to fix the things that need to be fixed. And I don't have a government helping me. I don't have a job, employer. Everything that I do is based on what I do. Or everything that I get is based on what I do. So I have to be very different. And that has changed me a lot. I want to be able to just fucking chill. Something to be said about how fucking alive you are if you do so. It's out of your control. You just answered your question. Yeah, yes, I know. I see where you're coming from. Of course. There are some things that I can still control, but trust me, as soon as I can, I'm going to be up there. Not sure if I should during the dark ages, though. If I was to head up to you now, with what's happening here tomorrow, I'm not sure what the weather is up west, but all of a sudden I couldn't get back to pick up my kids, for instance, because I'm snowed in. That has happened so many times. Take a break, I dare you, you fucker. I appreciate you, man. And I will. There has been a lot of people saying that. There is something that has to happen before I take a break. And that is to receive a blowjob while watching Rick and Morty from a BDSM club. Yes, I said those words very specifically in that order to have other people who might be lurking in the shadows triggered like fuck. Because that seems to be the thing. I keep myself trapped almost with somewhat of beautiful weather. Sun is shining. Nice. I'm keeping myself in a place where I have had to accept my fate almost for a longer than I should have permitted. A period where I've kind of hardened my heart. And I have to feel some human connection with a female. This is not just because, this is not sexual. For those people who are unaware of what human connection can actually do. It's just having a person on the same wavelength. Be there to actually just calm the nerves. That's it. And I have so many people that I could have just asked. I can just leave. I can walk into so many situations where I'm kind of surrounded by an optional harem, if one was to see it very narrowly. Because I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of friends on the same wavelength, and a lot of friends I've never done anything with. A lot of friends knowing about my situation, and a lot of friends wanting to help me get through that process. A lot of friends who've heard me say, no, can't. Don't want to get shot in the face by a fucking shotgun just yet. Because it's still in this process. I have to be ready for the... Like, right now, so many things have happened on the same time that it has completely obliterated my entire nervous system and everything that happens around me. So if I was to face that consequence of, no, now he has done something that will forever alter the timeline, then, yeah, to stay in that. To be prepared for that. Or the other way around, for that matter. Like that the final blow, I guess, almost. And it has been a very interesting journey in trying to find myself in all this. I was wondering, actually, about talking about that today. There's one thing that I haven't shared anywhere. Anywhere. People can ask, people can search, people can look for it. Rarely do I talk about the romantic or the relationship in terms of love and what happened on that journey. Changed my fucking entire perspective of everything. Be careful you don't become enclosed in your thoughts. New place, new awareness brings clarity. I agree. 100%. That's also a thing here. I'm still trying to process the fact that I've moved. I lived in the car since March up until October. And that was different. Now I can shit. I have warm water. I have a shower. I have garbage sorting that I have to attend to almost. Like, I have things now that I didn't have in the van, and it changed everything. It was weird trying to get calm or just accept all the things. Yeah, I need a things counter. Shit, you have brought my awareness to this now. Now there's going to be a whole process. Try to be more specific. But I've been trying to accept my new reality. It was a big shift. And while I was going through that shift, I also had to fix a few shitty situations. One of them being fatal. And while I was on death's door, moving into death's waiting room, I was also trying to move alone. I was trying to... I had a lot of things on the same time that I had to attend to, and it burned me out in a way that I have never experienced before, but also with awareness of why it happened. And that, you know, the fact that it happened was also a confirmation that I didn't have to explain to people. They were there. They saw it. They were part of it. Some of them actually initiated it. So I didn't have to say anything. I was assaulted outside my house. My kids saw this. They were the ones who talked to the people who were not there, you know. Kind of changes the whole game. Remember where you started and where you are now. Things change all the time. 100%. Yeah, dude, if I was to go back and see where I started. I saw this video a few days ago, actually, from the mountain office. And at that location, I was also had the same thoughts. Like, shit. Not that long ago, I was sitting in a fucking shed. In 2017. Almost a decade ago. On YouTube. And all of the other aspects of all of this, you know, started before that. And the news from 2007. If I was just to pick up the newspaper from October 2007 and see that, yeah, that was me. And the prison and all that stuff. And see where I'm at right now in terms of everything. And at the same time, I can't fucking enjoy it. It cost me everything. So it's like bittersweet. It cost me everything in the fact that I saw new aspects of life, I guess. I got new experiences. I saw reality from a different perspective, and other people got triggered by a lot of things. Sometimes it felt like they got triggered just by me being there. And I know now why, you know. And we have a lot of conversations around it, but at the same time, it's like a psychedelic experience. Probably like an anal experience as well. For those who've not had it, you can't really explain it. But for those who have had it, you don't really have to explain it. Depart from this lovely conversation, stay strong. We shall converse again, love, brother. Yes, I love you, bro. I will also disconnect this stream right now. Thank you so much, because this got so much better just because you were here. And I'll see you as soon as I can. Have a fantastic day. Say hey to your loved ones, and enjoy the sunny weather up there in the west. For everyone else who's here right now, I'm just not gonna cut off harshly. I'm gonna take a little break, and I'm gonna play a song, and then I'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna do more. Maybe I'm just gonna feel it out. See if we can continue to create something during the day, or if I'm just gonna stop the stream and do something else. I want to change the topic over to AI and the Norwegian called 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗽𝐶𝗿. There's a reason for that, but it's just like YouTube don't want me to alter the title midstream, so it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna see you soon, and then we're just gonna take it from there. Yeah, I'm just gonna put on a YouTube video from the channel, and then maybe even an unpublished one. That would be cool. Something never seen before, and then you can watch that while I do something that I have to do. Let us see. I'm gonna find a little an engaging one, you know? Can I get a chi-hu? Oh shit. There's so many things here that I've been doing that I've never shared with anyone. That would shock you if you knew. Honestly, it would shock you. The adventure has already started. Okay. Let's see if this works then. Hold on. I don't know what this is going to lead to. I'm just going to put it out, and I'm just going to hope for the best. Good luck. I am an extremely practical dude. Ow. That is like having the force of the sun in your face. Let me do this. I'm an extremely practical dude. And I don't think people realize that. To be honest, it has kind of taken me by surprise as well lately, because, well, there's been a lot of things going on, and it's been hard communicating it. stay hydrated. Want to see something cool? Look at this. That's true mountain water. Pumped up from the ground. No matter where I am, I'm trying to stay hydrated. And if you noticed, I just realized that I have a fucking flashlight, a headlight, in my chest pocket, which I have had with me for a long time, through many adventures, and I haven't really used it. I've used my phone. My phone is quite, well, it's battered. It has been through a lot of adventures. Now I will treat myself to some blackberry lemonade. That looks like it was too tame. I'm trying to make it easy to, you know, keep good habits, even though I work a lot more than I should. I just squirted. Yeah, sometimes that happens for me as well. I say things and then I'm like afterwards, that came before, like before I had any chance to react. I had said that. But over time, I have learned to stay chill, to stay calm in the situations that occur, and to not react, you know, to respond rather. I have to fix my gamma. That makes sense only for those people who care about cameras. Yes, we might be black right now. We might be in the dark. We are back. I don't know if the sound is back though. Oh God. Hello. I'm still trying to fix the camera, so just hang in there. Bear with me. We got this. It's freezing and it's doing stuff all the time. Let's see. Kind of annoying, to be honest. It happens so often. There we go. We got movement. There we go. And we go take that gamma or the game, and we take that. We take the gain and we take it down to 94, or just thereabouts. And then all of a sudden, I am able to look at whatever comes from the camera without being like, ugh! That hurts my production value. Shroom shake. Kind of wish I hadn't done that, but at the same time, I'm kind of pleased that I did, because that was unexpected. I have seen different... There are remnants in this cup. The premise, or the idea with this genius little device is pretty simple. 250 liters of water, stuff it up with about 10 grams of 𝐶𝐴𝐵 on some undisclosed location in the world where it's legal to do such things, and then all of a sudden, there you go. That's all you have to do. It's called the Shroom Shake, and it is extremely efficient. As I said, I like to be practical. Actually try to stay, you know, when you all of a sudden you feel like eating stuff, and some people go for candy, other people go for chips, and just unhealthy shit. Dates with licorice. That's one thing. I mean, many people have tasted dates with licorice, and maybe even dates with chocolate. You can go all in on the dates. But the true dates, the real dates, those with fucking peach flavor, those are also pretty good. Dates with candy flavor, sweet peach. I mean, it's rich in fiber. There is no added sugars. All natural flavors. I'm just saying, it was a good alternative to all the junk. So even though this is kind of like a Kalmas Ustetas, you know, where I have gone through this whole thing, and I've worked for 50-hour shifts. I said 50-hour shifts, where I'm sitting there working my ass off for 50 hours, and then I go to sleep. And I'm able to do so because I'm carried by this energy that I've been trying to communicate over fucking years. I'm pleased to announce that I'm now able to more or less talk about it, show it, because I have documented it, as I say. And I can just show the documentary. I have now spent the last at least year or 2 years to kind of organize a bunch of different videos and photos to really tell a story that has been hard to tell before. Like this one, like the one you see now. This is a freaking amazing salad that ended up being our pre-trip meal on 11/11/22. I'm not going to go more into that right now. There is a lot to uncover before that, and I tapped into something yesterday in 23, which is also going to be very interesting to delve into, because many people don't know that it actually happened, other than the fact that it happened on national news, and it was covered, at least a fraction of it was covered. So we had a start. We started to talk about things that happened during that ayahuasca ceremony, but we haven't really gone into it. So I have gone into there, and I found hundreds upon hundreds of different things that I will now start to take out to show the story, to really go through it and tell the story as it was, because there is a lot to unpack there as well. Like this guy, like seriously, don't you have questions when you see something like that? Seriously? If you don't, then you're a fucking superhuman. Like, if you don't think about the stuff when you see something like that, yeah. Seriously. If people don't get intrigued or at least have a question, then you are living very, very boring lives, to be honest. And I wish you all the best of luck. So I'm going to go into different things in terms of plant medicine and natural medicine and psychedelic therapy and mental health institutions in Norway, private and governmental run, and the different protocols that is clearly not working, different procedures and things that they're doing that is causing more harm than good. On a global level, we're going to talk about psychosis. We're going to talk about microdosing psychedelics and psilocybin, specifically within Liberty caps, 𝐂𝐶𝐵 𝐶𝐶𝐵. There are many ways to skin a cat, they say in South Africa, and we are going to do our very best to not do so during this presentation, but it is a huge one. People need to realize there is more underneath the surface, and that is what this is about. So I'm going to spend time on this momentous occasion, and I'm going to invite those who are ready to be founding members of this whole thing so that we can start building that final goal, Valhalla, the holistic health adventure center, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a meat hall with a fire, and you can meet people and actually have resources and guidance and structure and network and goals and fucking something, you know, because today I hear what's going on from within the system. I talk to the people working in the system. I talk to the people who are in the system as users and patients. We can do better, guys. And also, let's not even mention the elder homes and the whole part there. And then if you go to the other side of the scale, the education system for our kids, Roblox, AI, and everything that is going on in terms of a young person trying to figure out who the fuck they are, what the fuck they are in a world such as the one we are currently finding ourselves in. Let's not just focus on the small fucking fragments of a context. Let's see the bigger picture. That's what I'm trying to uncover. And because I need obscene amounts of stuff and resources, I'm going to just be fucking honest and say that I'm doing a cash raiser, a fundraiser. We're doing these coaching sessions. We have NFTs that you can buy. There's a lot of ways to get into this. But enough about that. That's going to be uncovered as we go along. 2nd of 2nd 25, that is the 2nd of February 2025, there is a This is also 2026, just so you know. Fire. There is a bonfire. There is an in-bulk ceremony, also slash a 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗏, which is something completely new that we haven't really talked about before, including 𝗏𝐴 and other psychedelic Norse natural products that are completely legal because they are following the ancient ingredients of where these knowledge nuggets came from. There is a lot of things to uncover. Not going to get ahead of myself. We're going to talk about adventures. We're going to talk about QR codes. We're going to talk about geocaching. We're going to talk about plant medicine. We're going to talk about development, psychedelic development, adventuring, pushing limits, going out of the comfort zone, systemic failures, systemic solutions, and everything that kind of naturally falls in under these areas. We are not healthcare providers. We are not here to offer advice. We are not here to say this is that or that. We are actually here to offer advice, though, or support and guidance for those people who are on this journey and wants to learn more or whatever have you. We are not here to take any role away from your doctor, who are supposed to be the one who is going to help you through this whole thing. If that is what you're doing, we are also not financial advisors. We are simply people who is trying to create a autonomous, aligned life. By experience. In freedom. Forging a legacy. There's literally a simplicity to this that is starting to become annoying in many ways, because I'm sitting here talking about things that are currently happening in crypto, in the actual things that is happening beneath the news, and people who are having these stories unfold and being trapped by their own narrative almost, instead of just fucking creating with the limitless possibilities that we have right now. I don't have time to wait. Hope you don't either. If you are game right now, click right below, apply for a free session that is going to be the entry to a coaching relationship. That means I will offer my time to you for free for the first one. After that, if you want to join more, you can ask specific questions about how you can do that. That is going to be financially transactional. There's going to be an energetic transaction there that is going to be a win-win on both sides. If you're a person who expect to get more than you give, I have had enough of those people. So I will spot that immediately. There are systems in place to take care of that, and you're going to not know what hit you. But if you are called to something more and you want to get into this because you see that, holy fucking shit, they are still doing it after 10 plus years, then we are here. It's simpler than ever to join. There are 2 ways you can do that on this page. It is book a fucking thing in the events, or click on the button to go in and learn more and find yourself in one of these rooms right here. In this literal room right here. In the campfire right here. This is our technology that we use inside of the Legacy Forge, and people love it. So, if you're a seeker seeking answers, if you're an innovator creating new futures, if you're a billionaire sitting there in our board or trying to find other crazy co-creators to create with who have the same drive and the same ideas as you, who know exactly what they can do in order for their experience to be productive in terms of the greater outcome for the sustainable future and our kids and our older people and everything that is going on, click that link or button. It's as simple as that. Now I am off to, well, to create the next. I removed that link, actually. Just if people are looking for that right now, it's not to be found anymore, because I got so fed up that I just shut all the doors. As I mentioned earlier in this stream, there's 120 people currently waiting at the door, and I locked the door. Because there was a time where I was like, well, we're doing this now. Click the link, get in now. It was like, I was fed up because I had been doing it for so long for people who didn't understand what it was. You know, in the Bible, they would say tossing pearls for swine. And it changed how I do things drastically. Because of that, I've stopped chasing people. I've stopped trying to explain. I've stopped trying to translate what I'm doing for people who cannot see. When people come up to you and you're building a house and they have never, ever done anything remotely like it, they haven't even built a cabin when they were like a child. What I'm trying to get at, the point is, if you're not a carpenter, if you have no experience with any building of buildings, don't give advice to a carpenter who has been doing that for a long time, because that's not going to be helpful at all for any of you. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm done trying to tell what we do almost, because now the experience of what we have done is telling the tale. And also AI. AI is helping a lot, not in terms of, you know, automating and removing the soul of everything, but in terms of contextual awareness, a contextual story. Like if anyone can ask AI, what is this? What is the Legacy Forge? What are they doing in the Legacy Forge? What blah, blah, blah. Ah, the spark key. Signed by the first king of Norway, Peter Fransen. Well, I'm going to actually just jump off because I have been here now for 3 hours. And I think that's a good enough stream to start testing it out. And I will start to see if I can play games as well, because that would be more engaging and fun. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, comment, do anything of engagement whatsoever. And that would be more helpful than you can imagine. If you have questions, ask them. If you're still on the fence, stay there for as long as you want. I'm done pushing people off the fence. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to try to do more live streams. I'm going to do more collaborations. I'm going to talk to more people, specifically in Norway, I think, here on Twitch and YouTube, just to gather some stories from CPS and from psychedelic tourism and facilitation and, well, everything that I can, actually. Let's see. People don't realize I've been doing this for many, 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 many years. Which is an interesting experience, to be honest. But may you have an epic day. I'll see you in the next one.